I am Lata. I was born on the island of Taumako. I was the first voyager. I sailed to many islands. On all these islands, I have children who tell my story. When you hear my story, you too become my children. Come sail with me and meet your brothers and sisters.
Misi ako e siya no malabo. Oh, mata tilo tilo, basiku e sali atuni. Mangangi mai pengatai, mangangi mai tokelau. Kai kabea, kite baka o ngamanu.
My name is Simon Salopuka. I am from a Polynesian island called Taumako. I left my home as a young boy to go to school. I recently returned to my island to learn about our traditional voyaging customs. On Taumako, our ancestor is Lata. When I was a child, my elders told me stories about how Lata built the first voyaging canoe. Lata named the vessel Tepuke. I want the young people to know Lata's story.
I am Cruz Kabea, the paramount chief and in control of Taumako. My father is Lata.
Like our ancestors, Kavea spent his life traveling to distant islands. He was a master navigator and a very powerful man.
I'm a cultural anthropologist and sailor. I sailed to Taumako in 1993 and met Chief Kavea. He asked me for help to teach a new generation how to build and navigate a new tepuke.
I think we are the only Polynesians who have living elders who actually did it and can still teach us how.
Chief Kavea also wanted his grandchildren to learn to record the work on video so that outsiders could see that some Polynesian voyagers still use only ancient ways.
My name is Dixon Holland, and I'm a cameraman from Taumako. When I was 18, I heard that some of my elders were working on a project to bring back the tepuke. I wanted to build one and learn how to sail it like Lata.
In 1996, they began building the first tepuke in 16 years.
It can take as long as 2 years to build one. We need the help of everyone in the community working together, men, women, and children.
In 1998, Kavea and his crew sailed their tepuke to the outer reef islands. The younger generation hoped to sail with their chief and teacher again, but then he joined the ancestors.
We thought Kavea was the only person who really knew it all. We are trying to find out when the soul man died. Did the young generation learn something from him? Can we sail without him?
Amala matno wagila. Espasala samaya roheka ore bugena ko madru. At madru ne marena largo rugapo. Ore bugo la wagida mako. Hiela ragi bebna. O Dr. Salobuga ko rugapo. Ya temwana haidana ilore bebna re bugena. Ore Dr. Salobuga ko pasina mano ya rugapo ka hedegna.
Ayah jangan kau pina pakai penalan aku juga raih nang rawan ni kepo. Kau kau lian hola na kalau. Ni kau yang lebih hajang kalau ni. Ni ayah mulia tu bagan. Baru haya lah ni mana orang mat madua bersiap berniaga.
Jonas Holani became our LATA. LATA is the name not just of the original LATA, but also for any leader of a voyage, anytime. I remembered the stories I heard as a child.
Slata him of like criminal man before, but I didn't blame him become man. Why me say him criminal? This fella criminal blame him lead him go take him this fella tree blow hinora ya.
Lata chopped the tree without asking permission from Hinora. She forgave him. Then Lata gave her a shell trumpet that did not work. Hinora banned him from the island. Lata also tricked some other people into using the wrong plants to lash their vaka, so it fell apart. And then those people asked Lata if they could crew on his tepuke.
Ahora se mi belautim water lotiala, or some poison blow me inside, or some water call me chief engineer blotialo.
Sam just come behind and meet him naruan. Then man say Lata misa come help him. Lata, ku kakaru. Ku wihar lau. Come on meet him naruan, then I'm asking Lata. Misa come with him, then say,
what will you do for me?
Ku toko naru lau yo toko manga.
Come on board.
Then man say Lata misa come help him. Then say what na wakable you. Then so ba misa be kakem rasin no mo lokanu lo wakable you. But Lata he accept him. But you me otaman suppose you say you kakem rasin blow me. But me no agree with him ya. But Lata he agree lo that one. Then he pick him up. Then come on meet him naron. Then I'm asking Lata. Misa come with him. Then say. What na wakable you? Then Bami go steal for him itwala. Lata accept him too. Me think him that for kotama man for think him that one. Me think that him no straight ya. Last man make it 10 years na ya. Seri waka and lo tepuke him done finish. No any option blow man him send Lata. I ask him question, lo manya, what na wakable you look kanyong batem siya? Misal sex with him wife blow you ya. Latam say come inside. That one him hard for me find him. What nothing blow lata lo that one ya.
As any captain knows, you sometimes take people on board who do not do what you want them to.
Hem say I'm right now to come inside. That is why me bara try to find them this thing lo LATA. But lo what other work me find them out now. Me tell them true story. Me try to thinking what now LATA them thinking that time. Me no say find them because lo custom lo ndav. For any married man go with a married man. That one wo him start na.
LATA takes all kinds. LATA accepts everyone. I did not have as much sailing experience as the others, so I was so surprised when they invited me to join them.
But me believe blow me this time that one day if me strong in project for waka or the months comes support me, but me think that me I find them no more by what evil spirit blow what ancestors bausa direct me or think blow manya or some even LATA by him sa tell me.
LATA'S children prepare for sailing in his wake.
Nalo na Honolulu, Tonga, Samoa, na ko na lo Hawaii, where
This crew will sail to Pileni and Nifiloli atolls in the outer Reef Islands.
When Jonas asked me to join the crew, I was very happy, but also a little worried. I have some doubts about going on this voyage. My grandparents once sailed a tepuke to the same island that we are going to. They died there, and I am worried about what will happen to me when I arrive. According to my custom beliefs, if I go to that island, the spirits might take my life. I wondered if we are good enough at our jobs to be safe once we go into a rough sea. One small mistake could capsize the canoe and drown us all. We went out sailing for practice.
When I was a young boy, I lived on the seaside, looking for something broken that you tried.
To do their jobs, the crew must know the parts of the waka. A tepuke has 5 big sections. The foundation includes the main hull, the riser box, and the outrigger, including the floats. The outrigger always stays on the windward side. This massive outrigger creates carrying capacity and stability. On top are the house and the sail. The inner curve of the sail resembles a new moon.
The crescent shape of the sail is the image of LATA, with his arms raised above his head to catch the wind. It is the canoe's engine. This means that LATA is always with us, moving his children forward across the sea. Those kind of stories makes me feel like part of what LATA had done before. So I really believe that LATA is part of us.
The sail has just the right curve to use the wind efficiently. The shape works like a bird's wings, or the delta wings on a jet plane. The wind is drawn up the leading edge of the sail, which adds extra power. Aerodynamic engineers call this vortex lift. Like any sailing vessel, a tepuke cannot sail straight into the wind. So it zigzags, keeping the outrigger to windward for stability. When the tepuke changes direction, the crew moves the sail to the other end and sails on. This process is called shunting. When shunting, the crew lower the sail on the front end of the vaca, then lift the sail and the mast over the shelters on the outrigger side, and then raise the sail again on the other end, which becomes the new front end. Each person has a job to do to keep the vessel balanced and avoid capsizing. When one person moves, others must move.
Ya humua haronga medamon wa kegre bugana tere ni fulie de lae o de buge e fulie la ala kwa wana hawanga ina mana yo go hene ya mo e tlava gina tene ya na wanga ko ya na wanga bo ne haru mga wana de mi haru wa wanga hi ya de la wa de kol mbehilo
Wakablomilo tealo time for changing sailing. Then mina ba mi go down. Then anything or talem mina ba mi doing for kita. For roblo day tangim mina ba mi go say mi time for kita. For changing sailing mina ba mi changing for kita. Because mina say mi agis lo kita. So mi strong for stand up long tealo.
When I first saw a tepuke's hull underwater, I was a bit nervous to take this thing out at sea. I thought we will sink. I wonder what will happen if we sail this vaca in the rough sea.
The hull of the vaca should run mostly underwater. Hydrodynamic tests prove that submarine hulls are faster and more stable than wave-breaking ones. The scalloped texture of the adze cuts reduces friction between the hull and the water, so it moves faster than a smooth hull. For the crew to avoid dangerous reefs when sailing to NIFILOLI, they need very accurate navigation.
On the open ocean, it helps to have guidance from those who have gone before.
Before he died, Chief Kavea taught his students the basics of LATA'S navigation system. He explained exactly how wind positions, swell patterns, seasons, stars, and weather are interrelated. The name for this ancient system is Te Nohoanga Te Matangi, the life of the winds, or the wind positioning system. Imagine we are at the center of this circle with the horizon around us. There we see 8 primary wind positions. The wind can sit in and blow from any of them. LATA'S system contains a total of 32 named wind positions. Chief Kavea asked me to make diagrams to show people how this system works.
It might look like a compass, but this is really just a way to describe the winds and their relationships to other phenomena.
LATA'S system is a mental tool.
If you know how to use this system, you can navigate using no GPS, no compass, no sextant, and no charts. The map is completely in the navigator's mind.
Each wind position is equally distant from the position next to it, and each position has a partner on the opposite side of the horizon.
Te alunga, te akaio, te tonga, te tokela.
The wind positions of the trade wind season are green in this animation. In the Solomons, in the southern hemisphere, most trade winds blow between the winter solstice and the spring equinox. The wind positions of the cyclone season are red in this animation. In the southern hemisphere, most winds blow from cyclonic wind positions between summer solstice and autumn equinox. Taumako people say the wind follows the sun, so the wind sits in Teolunga when the sun rises at the wind position Teolunga. Teolunga means the pillow for the head of the wind in LATA'S system. From watching how sunrise and sunset positions move along the horizon each year, LATA saw that the sun rises and sets between 4 main wind positions.
For our voyage from Taumako to the Outer Reef Islands, we want the winds to come from Te Tonga and Te Alunga.
Te tonga ma te alunga. Tonga ma te alunga la wona am dang la ro. Te tonga ma te alunga. Te la ma te ho la. O nam dang hiang na penana ine ndang tebana.
Lo nga ping hamu sa no la hia dem da.
Moana sa lo mai no la ro du la lang na. Ala ka o la ka bai ba.
Ena to mani tahin lo re alu ma puge.
Mang na hape klem biong
I remember the elders describing these winds in relation to the paths of the stars.
Twinkle, twinkle, little star, I wonder what you are.
Ko hola wa ki ana. Ono ile ke tu. Pela e ka upu ni na o ile ke tu. O ko ile lo ka ngan na lo. Otello. O te la ko la de tu no ka velo le ha no la. Ono hombala ina ka la va ki ke. O ilang tai no nango ke ni tu an jane. Ito sigalo ko ilang sigalo. O falo no. O halo nango de tu. O ka ve ok.
Re fetu fesla kana ngo.
Ha?
Te fetu ko muala.
De tu. La we de tu ne wa asalo. Wena asino. La wo te la bla wo lo ta hu de mako.
Salo is one part of what Europeans call Scorpio, and Hawaiians call Maui's fishhook.
Yeah, salo. I'm not this one. 1, 2, 3, 4 falasta. 4 ocean V. Isla V lo here. No lo po kore talo lo anai.
Talo.
Apla po salo ne ko etu na apla na etu pani. Ai etu mani. Hai ne yo hai no aklik mani ha hani gra pani. So harun hulolo na ko gina talo ni. So na ko gria po yandang ko huli. Yo no ko rona be ka gino duat la ni na be ka. Usually me using for time we start from Taumako, then we shall come to Reef Island. From Salo himself move, yeah. If you move out and miss out, then you start taking that one. Poya Salo.
LATA steered by partner stars.
Ay no hano no lavaki. Yo na lunes no aga chemulo. Hale no ko hoe ulu, yo na no ha maulalo ko ulo no railo re. Atuare momo. O to ya na puna salo no ko ai sawangi re. Te luo salo ni hala no yo na wa. Anana luo le la gala ne ka ga ba go ne no wa. Ni la to yo ga to le no ta ki na wa.
LATA did not only steer by stars that are visible above the horizon, LATA knew how to steer by partner stars which are not visible because they are under the horizon. Stars are useful for navigation when they rise and set in certain wind positions. Each curved yellow line in this diagram stands for a leading star that has one end in the wind position in which it rises and the other end in the wind position in which it sets. When certain stars are up, it brings certain winds. When particular stars rise and set, certain winds and weather happen. The sky is not always clear, and especially along the horizon. So navigators cannot rely only on seeing stars.
I am learning that when one sign cannot be seen, there are backups. To make the voyage safely, we also need to read the swell patterns on the ocean.
Swells are large waves created by strong wind. Swells travel thousands of miles. 4 main swell trains can be observed moving throughout the Pacific. Chief Kavea showed people what to observe when at sea, and sometimes he drew diagrams in the sand.
La asalo ne ulula. Yo yago koilo hope. Ana ne ulu yo asino higene nagena. Yo yago role hua.
Here are animations of Chief Kavea's sand drawings. This one shows how one set of swell lines refract around one island, creating the interference pattern in the darker area. Here is the pattern formed when swells coming from opposite directions refract around 2 islands and meet each other. Some of the swells join and create an oval shape. Navigators treat that standing swell shape as a fence that they should stay inside.
Te puke ia ko se haitanga ko nang ia ko loro nam ka wa na ko no te dai puke na te le longo re puke na ngena no te le lo
Ana bo tate logari targo akrosine de ko wani na. No raro hariele lo hiu e puke e mi rola na.
Semse.
Yo esa tio i loro na. Ko ye la boy. Lo hiu ye le rola.
So that's why last time important was you must travel Los Centablo, I mean go Australia Island. There na by me feeling that you go so suppose you go out long way there. I mean you say you go different direction na.
Another useful pattern results from swells hitting any part of an island and bouncing back or reflecting at a 90-degree angle. The reflected swells are like homing signals, showing a direct path to the island.
Kaya ang homod na ko ye ay huwad ni hayni ay huwad ni hayni ane ko huwad juang ya ka kaya na ni ke bola na nangai tu dana ko ya hay bo porola ko wo gi lono ni ko yo la lo ni no hay nga tai ni ko hay no nangai jangai ko
Ni ho huwa nei.
ne ko huwad juang ya ka kaya na ni ke bola na nangai tu dana ko ya hay bo porola ko wo gi lono ana e yo mo Moana sa ko lobo kina ngama tuana na tele hubena pela ko gudia bo ho tebeo yo ko te matua lobo na tai logo ko hala hube ko lele hube ko ho te hube ko hadu lobo o te hingala no pela o le hu no pela o la pela o ko ga ko dua bo ni mon ko ilo ko ti ko ngara i blande am ga no hadu ko he ilo he bele hadu be peula yala de leshika
So you have to be able to know when there's a current, which is why Jonas demonstrated sticking his leg in the water. We have seen that swells and currents are driven by wind, and that stars rising and setting in certain wind positions bring certain weather. Lata knew how to make the wind position change, and so do his descendants. It was one of Kawea's main responsibilities as paramount chief to control the weather. Kawea did not try to stop strong winds during a stable season, but early or late in the season, or in between seasons, he called the wind to a desired position, and within 3 days, it came to sit right there.
Cecilia is Chief Kawea's widow. She's a weather worker. I don't know whether she wants to tell us or not.
Oh, yeah.
It's like it's a bit secret.
She decided.
She showed us the sticks that she makes to control the wind, the waves, and the rain.
Remtangi mahabuna na ko kaini. Ya rewa na ko kaini. Kuanga yawe na ku hana budua buanga ina. Ko yau ko hatulia ko pa ahingana nya nyambi mane. Wala kauna nyagu hana rona nyambi mane.
She told me how to prepare the sticks and use them for our voyage. You have to look at it from a Polynesian perspective. We must plan voyages around the seasons. We might spend months living on another island, helping our partners, and waiting patiently for a good wind to sail. These customs are part of our identity. In our culture, we feel our ancestors are always around us, protecting us and listening to us when we call for help. I hope they can help us on our voyage.
Nói có vào loại lưới, nè đầm đằng nó đổ mà năng lên nó bên này trái luôn, trái. Aku quan nông nhà nó, yêu có ya hay mà chua mà luôn á, có yêu mai đầm đằng ra rồi nghe bên nào, cái customer ra rồi, có yêu mai đầm đằng.
Lát này nó halo cái đầm đằng bukan kesaka, lalu lát nó hamu mukai na. Lalu tapar remdangi ke isnomai.
Long before I come, we're looking tomorrow for selling. Tonight we're going to sleep here. We're going to watch out. I was saying lightning or so lightning or same. hemblong or batem. Lightning or a prat bong what lam. Hem sa pulum gam batem.
Some signs foretell a wind position.
Kamana boga hiai ko kamana ko orang amat ko lolo berendang ka an hole deulu natina.
Another guiding light is Te Lapa.
In our language, LAPA means to flash. During the night, experienced sailors look for a special kind of light, flashing on the water. The LAPA indicates where distant islands are located.
Labana akakaingana de kuya. Nani ko sai ni do kakaingana.
Ya, dari belum dikoros kabe ya time for sailing. Time em looking Te Lapa. Then em say you looking Te Lapa ya island memi korsap na ya. Suppose mi fala sailing kami em looking Te Lapa lo side blem. And Te Lapa ya you may miss my land ya. So you must stand em end blow canoe for sailing through that Lapa. When him the light come, if I look in my land now.
The first time I saw it, I thought my eyes were playing tricks on me.
Our elders said Te Lapa is quite common, but it comes with no warning. It has never been captured on camera. There are no photographs of it.
I do not know what Te Lapa is, but it does not look like bioluminescence. It is not triggered by the wake or by waves hitting the hull. At times, I've seen it coming from an island over 150 miles away. The Te Lapa of each island has its own subtle color: bright white, yellowish, greenish, bluish. But Te Lapa is not always visible. You must look at the right time, in the right way, to see it.
Oh, man, it was a full moon. I didn't look for it because I thought you could not see it in the full moon. Oh, man. Namino,
Yeah, have no. You know what? Because you got to compass, yeah.
No.
You know what about you know what about for watching? You got to watch.
Yeah.
You must watch.
I heard about Te Lapa, but I never saw it myself. It was hard to believe that it was real. I wanted to learn if other people around the Pacific also knew about some of our navigation techniques, like Te Lapa. On a visit to Fiji, I met Titubera. He heard about it from his father. Tala.
Yeah.
Okay, can you explain about Tala?
It's a messenger that connects you and your ancestors. They show you the light, and that light will be coming to you or appearing to you first if you're connecting you to them. Otherwise, you find it hard to let that light to be seen. You have families who passed away.
Yeah.
Always you must remember them. Must. They guide you when you are lost. And although they cannot appear by as a form of a human, but they show you their presence in the form of a light. Any place you go, and somehow you feel you are astray, you tap the ocean, tap the water, and ask for their guidance. Definitely they will show you their presence.
Tala.
The Tala. It's a messenger.
Yes.
Ingat di lavana, lama na umua.
LATA'S wind positions are correlated with swells and te LAPA. In final preparation for departure, the community blesses and celebrates the vessel and the crew.
Sometimes we grow on when we sing.
The crew is ready to go.
But the weather is not in our favor.
The seasonal wind is late coming. The crew waits for the right conditions for their voyage. And elders pay close attention, usually.
Oh, full week here. Mimi ni moke. Mimi wait another week here before you stealing out. No one me thinking blaming. Because this is one of my judge. This time we're not strong enough for what to see.
I'm look. And in good time, lo not in me school little bit. Yeah, school. No little bit, full one. No.
Yeah, full one now. Yeah.
No little bit. Give you full one now. Little bit of what? Yeah. Just give you full one now.
Mickey's wife, Grace, offers a gift on the grave of her grandfather and tells him they need help to change the wind position to Te Tonga. 3 days later, the wind sat in Te Tonga.
We finally sailed our vaca from Taumako towards the outer reef islands. The wind was really good at first. I felt lucky to be on board, but still a little bit afraid. I was still trying to figure out if we really knew enough to find the island. I really hoped we had the wisdom of LATA and our late Chief Kaveya on the vaca with us.
They expected an overnight voyage, but once the crew lost sight of land, the wind became very light. They drifted off course for 2 days and nights. And then squalls came, and the wind started blowing against them. Some wondered if they should turn back.
Ota all man sailing before, ota put in pressure loret and string loret, and that you must not feel doubt time you float lo sea. So sometimes by out looking, come that him go good, win him all right or same. Then bamba me must of win na ya. For me float lo sea. Then bamba me what nothing thing blow you me.
That first night, the stars were covered by clouds, and the captains did not rest. The crew were asking lots of questions. Were we on the right course?
Time you me come, me for sailing come, then also me for a film, wind him a little bit change direction. Then also thinking doubt and worry and come up from me. So me thinking that one. Say, what's way? You granny, time you looking winner Mosem, or you looking me for a meeting hard time Mosem, what's way you no saving me? Or saving me for giving me for a good win?
How have me story lo me then ora ting below him where him sabe talia me for dream lo see. Then him proud lo himself evan that him talia me that la daddy blame lata him journey mask also for the granny blame him talia mogeta that time you tambah you sailing you sabe concentrate no say me lo see this time whether die or life. But time something happen no say ma ota granny say ma ba ota come in then ba sabe talia na say ba you say no you sabe now you doing this one then ma ba sabe go through lo him.
Like on our way from Taumako to Reef, it's quite cloudy and we hardly see the stars.
Me think that somebody him inside the boat here. Ogo me smell him now. Ota home tobacco. Someone him smoke lo pipe, him smoke and pipe. And then me say, Reggie, you know I smoke and pipe, but when a pipe blow you. Then say, me ask him because pipe blow me, but me no smoke.
I can feel the presence of Old Man Kavea on the tialo. And even I can smell his pipe.
Kavea him no loose lo canyo ya, him inside lo boat, him can't wait me fala.
So I believe that Old Man Kavea is with us when we travel from Taumako to Reef.
Me think him that him tested me fala that time by fala find him hard something lo see, by fala worry too or no more. Him na that time me learn that hey, olomanya no matter him lose yourself, but him like try me more this time.
Comforted by Kavea's presence, the crew renewed their study of clouds and swells. Fox used Cecilia's sticks to calm the sea. They connected with the signs around them. As night fell, they saw flashes of Te LAPA.
I read about the Te LAPA, but I never see it. I never see it myself. Until when I was on the trip from Taumako to Reef, it was very cloudy. And we hardly see any stars. Well, that night I saw it 3 times. I was assured that our target is correct. And I think I'm really happy to witness those kind of things. Like I heard about them, but I never witnessed them. It really gives me confidence and it makes me believe like our ancestors are with us. Those such things are real.
With calmer seas, the crew relaxed and chewed betel nut.
We arrived on Pileni in the outer Reef Islands. It was the first time in many years that a traditional waka had landed there. We greeted each other.
Thank you.
Since we started to revive the tepuke, our crew has learned a lot. I think Te Matua will be proud. We sailed on to NIFILOLI. And finally, it was time to meet my lost relatives and hear the true story of what happened to my grandparents.
Dari blow. Angkole. This is my lugu.
I was so happy to meet my relatives and learn about our family history.
But this time just savena and neblo mami. Takimang. Husband blame him. Hey, daddy blame him. Taholitai. Stama basita wake sa gua bloda. Bisa gustine o temprano blum.
Na hulog po tele po lu aton. Tu mai mau hulona la voi a lai tu akena. Tu hulona hemara la voi.
Pere what na him say? What a man garem tepugo o aliki. So sa gororif tekam kai kulosana kus tekam go fish and sack salem tekam red feather money.
Then we asked Auntie too many questions.
If we lose the ways of our ancestors, we might lose our future too. Now that I sail to another island to meet my family, I know that my ancestors are with me.
Oh, me a story, Lolata, but this time also feeling blow me this time also me inside na lo story also me also one falaman inside lo there na. By me picture for me sailing by upright lo me no. Bisa have for win or talem lo me but also me problem na this time. So by me learn for him no. Time te alo by himself by me kruma.
Malela pilo bo. Bodai kata gua lah boleh dekat tombol kan ngok.
For the masterpiece, lo example o lata, hemi criminal hemi, hem thing that ambai people le sai survive le hem or the staff good le hemi. Pamba hemi look no good lo I blow you me that you by what I hear him story blow granny blow you, but you no sabe half would be.
Pare inga memne tuale po no memelano memne tualo po. Auru kolomagina. Po ta hola hailangi gine yagu de gwali po lapela. O hiai ni po. Kwai la lo po kitai ni po ite hola. O andan yagu la de hola kai ko ko. O ilanga po.
That blow me him get all this time yeah. So him Italia me that every walkable him. When cut lo tepuke o whatever him say dim or the skis will him lo tepuke him say bah him mas Italia me for me mas dream na him ni po handawam kam na.
Lo ne vila pela ango Moana. Na ni ngolo Moana lo ne nu digwadi. Ngo Moana.
Tepuke him was him one for la sipi. Him no select him that you black, you white, you woman. Wasn't what anybody sabe go inside lo tepuke. Then him travel with me.
I want to know more about our ancestors, find their way, and sail to the islands where they went before.
So, if you agree with me, then you come and teach me.